Hello students, in this lesson we shall be talking about types of Indian climate and its features. But before we start with this topic, let's discuss a little about what is weather and what is climate. Let's see what is the difference between the weather and climate. So if I ask you what's the weather today, you might say it is sunny, it is rainy. So weather is nothing but the condition of atmosphere around you at a given time, okay, at a present time, current time. So that's weather. So condition of atmosphere as in how is the temperature, how is the pressure, how it is humid. All these things are the conditions of the atmosphere. And what do we mean by atmosphere? Atmosphere is nothing but the blanket of air around us. So this blanket of air, there are various conditions that affects it. So we actually talk about those conditions when we talk about weather. Okay, when you talk about climate, we talk about the same conditions of the atmosphere. The temperature, the pressure, the wind, everything. But we actually talk about all these conditions over a period of time. How a region over a period of time is getting affected by these conditions. So about 30 years of time, if we check, India is observed to have a monsoon type of climate. There are regions around the Mediterranean Sea, they are observed to have a Mediterranean type of climate. So climate is nothing but the condition or maybe the sum total of the weather conditions over a span of 30 years. So that tells us the climate of a particular region. Weather is the current day, what is the condition like of the atmosphere, and climate is the condition over a period of time. So I hope you are clear with the difference between them. So let's write down what is weather. So weather is nothing but the state of atmosphere or the condition of atmosphere over a region, okay, for a given point of time. But when you talk about climate, climate is nothing but the overall sum total of average weather conditions and variations, and the variations that you see over a period of time in the conditions. Variations over a large area for a given period of time. For a long period of time. Sorry, it should be a long period of time. So that long period should be around 30 years. Okay. Now, depending upon the monthly average weather condition. So, in the entire month, how was the total weather condition like? So, according to that, we divide the entire year into seasons. So, if you check that, suppose in India, there are 4 months which have really high temperature. So these 4 months are said to be having the summer season. So when you have a particular 4 months where it rains, in the entire 4 months it rains usually after 2 days or maybe after every day, or it does not stop raining. So that period is called the rainy season. So according to the average monthly weather conditions, there are seasons. So we write down as on the basis of generalized average monthly atmospheric condition. So in suppose some months there is rainfall, in one day it's going to be a lot of rainfall, the other day there will be less rainfall. So you have to count the average in the entire month, and that gives you the average atmospheric condition. Okay. So according to this, on this basis, the year is divided into seasons. Okay, so I hope you are clear with what is the difference between weather, climate and season. So let's talk about India specifically. As I've already mentioned that India is having a monsoon type of climate. Okay, monsoon type of climate in India. So what do we exactly mean by monsoon? So monsoon in Arabic language is coming from the Arabic language mawsam. Okay, which means season. But why India is said to have this name monsoon is because India is actually having the entire weather condition of it mostly dependent on the monsoon winds. Okay, there are winds which change their direction over India, and due to which we have monsoon season in India, specific monsoon season for 4 months. So that's why we say we have a monsoon type of climate. Now there are certain regions in the entire world which would have rainy season during the summer season itself. Like even when you talk about the Mediterranean type of climate, there the rainy season occurs in the winter season time. So there is no specific time for rain, but in India there is. So that's all because of monsoon winds. So monsoon is actually nothing but the winds that change their direction. So over India, if you see, you will see that from the southwest to the northeast, there are monsoon winds blowing. And when these monsoon winds retrieve back, they blow in the opposite direction. So they blow from the northeast to the southwest. So these are the winds which are changing their direction over India. So that's why we have this monsoon type of climate. Now let's move ahead and see in entire India. Okay, only in India, there are various regions which have variety of climatic conditions. So if you talk about Rajasthan, it's like arid, semi-arid condition, less rainfall. If you talk about some other place, it will be the coldest place in India. There will be some place which is the hottest place. Okay, summer season is seen like, it's like heat everywhere. But all these variety of that we see is because of a lot of winds blowing and lot of factors affecting India. So let's move ahead and see the variety of temperature and precipitation that we see in India. Let's have a look at that now.